So, have you guys heard that Drake has a stalker, you guys? And this stalker has actually filed a restraining order against Drake, along with sued him, attempted to sue him for $4 billion. Now, Drake is firing back and has filed his own protection order due to the fact that this woman allegedly sent him an email this week claiming that she would put a bullet in his head. Now, this is really, really disturbing. So I'm going to break all of this down so you guys can understand exactly what's going on here. But all of this has happened in California, not in Drake's hometown, Toronto, which is in Canada. This woman was actually stalking him and broke into his house in 2017 in April, and she was arrested for burglary and trespassing. She went into Drake's home, you guys, allegedly, and was basically drinking drinks out of his refrigerator, kicking it, and then she locked herself inside of Drake's house in a bedroom for several hours. And of course, she was eventually arrested. And then when she was taken to court, instead of Drake filing charges on this woman, he decided to drop all charges and decided not to file any charges. But now things are getting very dangerous. I'm going to read some of this information to you guys. If you guys are tuning in just now, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. Of course, it's a DJ Jericho podcast where I talk about entertainment news, world news. Subscribe right now. Now, according to reports from TMZ and Radar Online, it says that Drake's lawyer, Larry Steen, filed for a temporary restraining order against the 29-year-old Misha Collins, who, of course, as I stated before, allegedly broke into Drake's home in 2017 in April and was arrested at Drake's home in Hidden Hills, California. It continues, according to the arrest documentation, it claims that this lady broke into Drake's home and drank a bunch of refreshments, then locked herself in one of his rooms. She was eventually convicted for trespassing, but Drake claims Collins went as so far to come back to his residency multiple times after the original arrest. She even began sending him life-threatening messages via emails. One of the emails reportedly read, "Someone should put a bullet through your head now, BITCH." Now, we're not sure if this email was directed towards Drake or someone in his team, but that's what the email allegedly read. Now, Drake is filing this restraining order to protect not only himself, but his son and both of his parents, his mother and father. You know, this is absolutely insane. People are freaking crazy. And this is the part where I don't want to be famous or really have my face out there like that because, you know, some people, they enjoy your work, and then some people really enjoy your work to the point where they become obsessed with you. And it's insane because with Drake, you would think he had top flight security. I can't believe this woman actually was able to break into his house, you know, get her a snack, get her a drink, and then just go and lock herself in a room somewhere. Like, you know, who is running the compound over there for Drake? Like, you know, it's insane. And I feel like, me personally, I think Drake was being way too nice when he decided to drop the charges the first time around. And also the audacity of this woman to be suing Drake for $4 billion because she's talking about he was defaming her name and saying that he was making posts about her on social media. And of course, that situation was thrown out of court because they couldn't prove the fact that Drake was making any posts about him. And also, Drake stated in court under oath that he never, ever mentioned this woman in any songs, on Instagram, anywhere. He do not know her. And, you know, this is crazy, y'all, but this is how it is when you're famous. These people out here, they're fans, and some people are extreme haters. Some people become stalkers. And do we have to rewind back to almost 40 years ago when there was a similar situation with the singer John Lennon from the Beatles, and he was murdered by a crazed, obsessed fan. And this was way before computers, way before social media. This man followed him and killed him right outside the residency where he was actually, I think it was like a hotel or apartment complex that he was actually staying. And this man followed him, and his goal was to kill John Lennon. And in hearing this and hearing this woman allegedly sending emails to Drake saying she wants to put a bullet in someone's head and stuff like this, and this woman still is not arrested and put in jail, it kind of shows how biased this society and the world is. Now, don't get me wrong. There are a ton of women who's been abused by men, you know, beaten down, killed, and the men have gotten away with it. You know, domestic violence is a serious thing. But when it comes to more so like restraining orders, I think it leans towards more the female side than the male side. And I think because this woman that's stalking Drake is a female, they're not really taking it as serious. Now, it to me, also, I think it was not smart for Drake to decide to drop the restraining order originally and not press charges against the woman when she broke into his home. You know, this lady knows where you sleep. She literally knows the entire outline of the house. You know, before she even locked herself in that room, who knows what she was doing when she was sitting there drinking her drink. She could have been just walking in there, figuring out every entry point. You know, possibilities of being able to break in, get Drake, possibly hurt him, kill her, kill herself. I mean, kill him, kill herself. God don't speak that into existence, but that's just real. That's how crazy people are out here. And just hearing this story, it just made me think about the whole John Lennon situation. And there's a lot of other celebrities that have had stalkers and stuff, and it did not end well. So, you know, share your thoughts on this situation. Now, according from my additional research, from what they're saying is that the restraining order was actually granted and that this woman cannot come within 100 yards of Drake. But do you guys really think she's going to listen to that? Let's just be real. Women get restraining orders against men all the time, and they do not care. They still show up, and it still ends in tragedy. Why would this woman, who literally broke into his house, sat in his house, drank in his house, and locked herself in one of his rooms, listen to a piece of paper saying, girl, don't go over there, because he don't want to be bothered? You know, of course, he has a son as well, so this is a real situation. It's not like Drake is living there by himself. He has a child and a mother and also his father that's there that's older. So, you know, I just feel like with Drake's situation, with his kind of money, I would beef up security. It would probably be security on call all day, every day, just protecting my home. Or I just flat out move. Like, I don't know why I'm sitting there thinking about, security. You can just move. Maybe it's not that simple. I don't know if he owns his property that he lives at in California, but I'm pretty sure that Drake can possibly find a new place to stay and not have the residency under his name, but under a different name, an anonymous name, to keep him protected. Because this woman, whoever she is, because there hasn't been any photos released of her, which is even more creepier because you really don't know who she is. You know, with her situation, I feel like it's very necessary and needed for Drake to just flat out relocate, take his kids, take his family, his parents, everybody, and go elsewhere, or just head back to Toronto until he needs to perform again, unless she knows where he lives there as well. But it probably would be impossible for her to be able to stalk him into another country because, you know, you got to go through a whole lot to get over that border. I'm pretty close to Canada myself. I know the protocol. It's not going to be that easy. I think Drake needs to go back to Toronto for a while until they can find a safe place for him to actually stay at, and beef up security, you know? And the other thing that kind of bothered me is the fact that this woman tried to sue him in court for $4 billion, talk about some, he was defaming her name. Lady, you are crazy. And this is why mental illness needs to be really highlighted, because there are a lot of sick people out here. People who just don't have their marbles together, don't have it all. And we just overlook it. We just flat out overlook it in society in America. This woman should be committed by now to like a psych ward, not locked up in jail per se, right? I mean, should she be in jail? Because if it was a man, he would be in jail. But I think that maybe if the judge didn't want to put her in jail for what she did, they should have had her committed, mentally evaluated, all of the above before she was set free back into society. Along with the fact that she came in there brave enough and brazen enough to say, I want to sue him for $4 billion. That right there should be the rights for the courts and the justice system to intervene, and the judge to say, hey, I think you might need to be committed, or ask for a personal evaluation of her, you know. But y'all share your thoughts about that situation.